You might be thinking that most of the gamers are just wasting their time, apart from the people who are trying to do it professionally, either streaming or playing competitively. But we are just overachievers stuck in a very slow world. So in this video, we will try to understand how a gamer's mind works and how we can use a gamer's mind in our day-to-day life. So the question is that why a lot of people who are gamer are stuck in day-to-day life. For this, there's a very simple answer. You can find it anywhere on the internet. It is to do with the cheap dopamine. It is not just in games. It is with everything we do, from games, drugs, alcohol, sex, pornography, junk food. Whatever gives us cheap dopamine is kind of like bad for us. And I'm not saying we should not do it. I'm saying we should be able to understand that how this kind of things can become a habit very soon because of how our brain works. So whenever you crave something and you do it, your brain is rewarded for that. And when you do it a lot of time, a lot of things happen in your brain. This becomes a habit. So after this, the question comes up that if you are a gamer, are we always going to struggle? I'll be very honest with this. I cannot answer that because every single person is unique, and it is not how the Western world usually portrays. For example, there can be an article on the newspaper that gamers are likely to be depressed. Now there will be some studies based on like some certain number of participants, and it's a spectrum. Like there can be people who are at a very low end of a spectrum and very high end of a spectrum, and usually all the scientific data and everything are a mean result in a way, and the news articles and everything you saw are just clickbait. They want you to click on that because we are kind of triggered by fear and we want to know like, oh, what is happening. And when you read these kind of things, and I'm not saying it's true for you or me, it's just like it's in your brain, like it is a negative emotion we are consuming, and it comes down to self-awareness that if I'm letting that article affect me in any way or not. And the main thing is that you are unique. You control yourself. So the question we have to answer is that what can I do if I am a gamer or I was a gamer? You know what is the best thing? Why don't we apply the same analogy of a game to the real world and just play it? All we have to do is not think about the logic. So this is the problem with our world right now. We are all kind of trying to find the logic. We are trying to find the logic that why things are the way they are, and people can go on debate for, I'll say, weeks or even years, and I think it has gone for decades and centuries. But there's no right answer to it. We can believe in something and it's completely up to us, but we kind of know the basic logic of the game, and all we have to do is play it. And now the idea behind this analogy is, think about it. So whenever you are playing a game, so for example you're playing GTA, or for example you're playing PUBG, or you're playing Sims, any game, like any game, you have understanding of a basic logic, and after you can rant about it to your friends, you can go on a rant online, but in the end you have to play the game. You cannot change the logic of the game unless it's a mod. Like again, you have the basic understanding of the game and you just play it by the rules. So whenever we play next, or if we try to remember when we used to play games, that we were so focused into the game that we were just like in there, like we are just playing the game in the moment, waiting for the next thing to happen so we can take action based on that. Our life is kind of the same. It's a slow game. When we play game, we are used to getting those cheap rewards by completing the missions, side missions, upgrading our costume pack, upgrading our looks and everything, and it's just all cheap dopamine which we should be getting in our real life. And I promise you, real life is more better. I'm not saying games are bad. Play games in moderation. Everything is good in moderation. Okay, now maybe for some people, they don't know the logic of the game. They don't understand how the world works, and that's why our mind is always questioning the things and whatever we are doing. So let me put it forward how this world actually works and what matters and what doesn't matter. Okay, first thing, you have to understand that your actions have consequences. For example, I can't go in real life how I go in a game, as in like let's say GTA, I can't steal people's car, I can't go and punch people, I will face consequences. So I know that basic understanding. And if you believe in karma like I do, then you can also understand that all of the things we are doing will come back to us in one way or another. Okay, next logic to understand is that it is almost 8 billion multiplayer arena, you can say, in a way. So every single player is different. We don't know what they are planning. We all know what they kind of like think about us. Maybe we kind of know that there are some allies, and it's completely up to us, like our personality, who you want to make allies with and who you want to make enemies with. So that is the basic thing. And we all are born with different inventories. It's completely random. Let's say that wherever you are spawned, you get random resources allotted to you. Now the third thing to understand is that it is a very, very long game in terms of, let's say you will live an average life. So the more you think about the length of the game, the more kind of it's get overwhelming. So if you are playing a game and it's take ages and you are not enjoying the game at the moment, you will kind of like leave the game, right? You will stop playing and you will kind of like look for the other cheap dopamines, like Again, games, food, alcohol, drugs, and sex. So that is how I see you, that you are not playing the game. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. When I'm talking about all these things, I'm talking about them when they're not in controlled manner and you are kind of like addicted to it and it is affecting your day-to-day life. So if we understand that it is a very long game, all we can do is keep upgrading ourselves, so we are ready for whatever the next mission is. How you can upgrade yourself? So money definitely helps. Like in game, money helps. It helps us buy more resources, it helps us to live comfortably, it helps us to take care of a lot of things. I'll say most of our current problems within the external world are caused by money. So money is a very important resources. But there's another thing which you can upgrade, are skills. So in games, you upgrade your skills by performing certain things. Let's say, for example, you remember in GTA San Andreas, there was a mission where you have to learn the flight school thing. So you keep doing things and you upgrade your skills. You keep going to gym, you upgrade your body. You keep reading, you upgrade your mind. You keep doing things, you will keep upgrading yourself. And the main thing which we have to understand, what we do when we are playing the game, we are playing in the moment. If you are very used to the game, your mind might wander while playing the game. But most of the time, when we are in a game and it's like a mission, you are constantly there. You are always completely focused that you don't even realize what time it is, if you have eaten or not, if your house is burned down, does not matter. You are so focused in the moment. So this is the key. This is the key to win in life. If life is a game, and not win, let's say it's a marathon, and all you can do is like keep upgrading yourself, and you have to be focused. This is the main point from all of this analogy. Try practice that in your real life. Think that you are in a very, very high graphic simulation of whatever, and you understand the basic logic of this life. You know what your resources are, how much money you have in your account, what skills you have, what knowledge you have. If you think you have all the knowledge, that is arrogance, that is ego. Take that, throw that out of the window. You can never read too many books. If you think you don't need any gym and you don't need to do any sort of fitness activities, think about it again. You can always go for a running, you can always do some push-ups. You can always kind of upgrade yourself, even if you think you are enough in that field. Now I completely understand that there can be many situations where you are stuck. Remember that mission in Vice City? Yeah, so like that example, many things can come in our life, and there are different scenarios like how we can tackle them. Like let's say for a game, what we can do. Either we can try different strategies, we can try different weapons, different resources if you're trying to defeat a boss, this level's final boss. So in real life, when you face any circumstances, you can try to tackle that issue from a different angle, try to compromise in some way or another. Try to, let go of the money. For example, you are upgrading your inventory to kill the final boss. So in life, sometimes you have to understand where you're spending your money, if that thing will help you to successfully complete your mission or not. Or you can try to always keep pushing on. There have been many instances in the game where we have been trying to kill a certain enemy, or we have been trying to do a certain mission, but we failed, but we keep trying until we finally do it. So those things can happen in life as well. Like for example, applying for jobs, applying for different universities, or even looking for relationships. And there's one more thing which you can do is come back to it later. Open world game, we have different sort of missions. It's not like a fixed issue that if I don't do this, like nothing else will happen. We have different sections in life. So if you feel like you're stuck in some place, so if you're always thinking about that you don't have a partner, you are not in a relationship, and you are still young, you can kind of divert your focus to other things. If you have a good body, you are successful in career, why I'm not getting any girls, or why I'm not getting any guys. So best thing you can do is upgrade. Another thing, try focusing on your mental health, try focusing on upgrading your skills, start reading, start attending events. You can try to search for different events online, either in your career field, or you can look for events which kind of go along with your hobby. So maybe you like photography and there's a photography walk group who is going for some photography, you can join them. Maybe, who knows, you will find your partner there. We have to kind of understand that if you keep focusing on one mission in a game, you'll exhaust yourself and then you'll just give up playing. Best thing is to do is like take your time, do other missions. Life is like that. Like this game works like that. You can do other things in life, and you can think of this as like, for example, if you're playing PUBG or if you're playing Fortnite, you might die, but what you do, like, okay, you are frustrated at that point, your teammates are playing, or if you're playing alone, then you're frustrated, but what do? You go back and play again, right? You don't give up. You should never give up on anything, and never giving up for me does not mean that I'm gonna push myself to a limit where I know it is not good for me. It's all about understanding ourselves, and it's all about understanding why we are failing in that thing. And that is a completely different topic in itself. And I have made a video about that. If you are interested in that topic, that why do we keep failing, that video will be on your screen right now. And if you are interested, please go and check it out. I will see you in that one. Goodbye.